So I didn't think the last highlight package that we broke down with the looks at the entirety of the game did quite enough as far as looking at the run game. So I just wanted to do a quick supplemental with a Mekhi Frazier highlight package, just looking at some of the things that Michigan State ran in on the ground in this one. So start here, 11 personnel. This is counter, something that State has run a bit in the past. They've run counter, some gap stuff, fair amount of inside zone last year, and this year has been a lot of outside zone. So this is kind of an outside zone answer to counter, where you or iteration of counter where you have a puller here. Number 71 is pulling. Jack Velling is also pulling. So it's kind of like what would that be? Yeah, it'd be a GTE counter, I guess, where you have your guard and your tight end pulling. You see good contact here, and Frazier's able to just kind of slip upfield a little bit. The result of the run to me is much less significant than this being a legitimate wrinkle that's been added to the run game, which I thought was well executed. It plays off of outside zone. It also breaks tendency because it kind of looks like split zone with that tight end flying across the formation, but it follows the tight end instead of going away from it. So I thought that this was good overall. I was impressed with the running game. Last week I know I said that, well, you're playing a team with only 2 down linemen a lot of the time that are very undersized. Let's see what they do against better competition. I was not overly impressed with what Boston College brought to the run game, but you can only play who's in front of you, and this is the second week in a row that Michigan State ran the ball quite well and was effective in the run game. So this kind of looks like an old Big 12 3-3-5. It's not, but it kind of looks like it, and you see just the double that's cut off right here of this one tech. There's a double. These defensive ends I thought were really bad in run defense, in that they were consistently losing battles with tight ends. This defensive end winds up all the way towards the middle of the hashes. Really poor leverage by the secondary, and Frazier bounces it pretty effectively. So I thought that, obviously a good run, but just watch Velling move this defensive end, who takes himself out of the play by being hyper-reactive play side. And then you see poor angles by the secondary players coming in, and that's a first down. So you got the 3-by-1 tight. I like this little tear motion, just to get people's eyes looking outside. And then this is just outside zone. This is actually defended pretty well, where 52 is able to stay relatively square, stay around the line of scrimmage a lot of the night. These guys were getting walked pretty far downfield. I did not think Boston College's linebackers responded particularly well to being tested in the run game. They did here. Number 1 kind of slips under a block and is able to make a pretty good tackle. But Frazier turns, a 1-yard gain into 3 or 4-yard gain by being able to get upfield. This was a fine run. It was, this is just, I think, inside zone. Well, we got to watch that again. I don't like how these timestamps work, where it backs you up 10 seconds, but this is just inside zone. But really the story of this is an absolutely epic hands to the face that number 74 gets away with. You see it right here, and I think they replay it. But he's getting a defensive tackle, good 5 yards upfield, and you can see the excellent contact that linemen upfield are having on the linebackers. And when you get hats on hats in the linebacker level, and you can cut it up into the secondary, that's going to be a good chunk run for you. But watch the left guard, just an all-time hands to the face. If you're going to do that, get your money's worth, and certainly did. But I do love just seeing, the ability of linemen to be active at the line of scrimmage and to get to the second level, block up linebackers. We saw it last week. This is the second week in a row we've seen it, and we're going to see it this coming week as well. So this was really good. So at some point, Boston College just started kind of shooting their linemen upfield a little bit to try to help themselves in the run game. Um, you see a really good play side double right here on this defensive tackle. He's getting walked upfield. Um, just an excellent jump cut by Mekhi Frazier, where he's able to put his foot in the ground, responding to this. I did not think number 65 Lepo had an outstanding game. He had some trouble in pass pro too, but he winds up on the ground here. He's beat across his face play side. A really good cut. The hurdle is epic if you can hang on to the ball. Frazier didn't wind up hurting State, but you want to see some ball security there. When I say that the defensive ends were bad in run support, this is really the play that I'm talking about. This and one other in this highlight package. Look at number 15. He's one-on-one against the tight end. Really poor get off by. Well, you got to watch this again. Really poor. Watch on this next play the get off by number 15, this defensive end. It's very poor. He's kind of shuffling. I get it, but then he completely turns around to try to take himself out of the play, despite the fact that there's a bounce coming here. And Frazier's able to kind of regap and get upfield. So, not overly enamored with the play of the defensive end there, but again, it's a really good gallop step by Lepo there by number 65, and taking out this defensive tackle. See right here, it kind of shuffles and is able to turn 97. And I thought the running game, especially late in the game, as you'll see in the next play, was a big part of Michigan State's success and making the play action effective. And I lied. You're actually going to see that play I'm talking about in overtime after this. I'd imagine that's just kind of, you see Goff doing it with the Lions a kill, where you're just, kind of checking into a run play. This is just straight ISO, where you have inside zone, a fullback behind it, and you're targeting kind of a more of a particular gap, and good release to the second level. Excellent blocking against the linebackers there, and you're able to fall forward and get to third and short. That's exactly what that play is designed to do. This was probably my favorite play. You can see there's kind of a bait here where they leave a couple gaps open. These linebackers are supposed to be spiking in them if they get run action. This is outside zone. Number 15, that defensive end I'm not overly enamored with. It's way too far upfield. Excellent blocking into the secondary. Really, really good reversal of the field, and then you set up the game-winning touchdown right there. Again, you see this defensive end take himself out of the play, and then a really good block by Masunis on this linebacker that opens up the cut where you wind up getting, I believe after that is when Childs scores. So overall, I thought the running game was extremely effective for Michigan State. It's the second week in a row we've seen that. Obviously, want to see it against better competition as the season goes on, but you can only play who you play, and this was the second week in a row where they did something that they have not done in the past, which is be consistently excellent and assignment sound in the run game, and against Youngstown State, I'd imagine that will continue as well. So excited about this, and just wanted to touch on the run game a little bit because I didn't think that it was adequately represented in the broader highlight package that we used for the film room this week. So as always, I would love to chat about it in the comments, and excited for what is coming in the run game in the weeks ahead.